Okay, so hi, my name is Allison Lee, and I'm part of the Clexical organization, which is an organization that promotes contemporary music to our community. So I was wondering if you could introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Jean Ahn. I'm a composer. I also teach at UC Berkeley, and I composed a new piece for the upcoming National Flute Convention.
Oh, that sounds nice. So I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions. Yeah. So to start off, I was wondering what your initial inspiration was for your composition pieces, and if you could share some insight into your creative processes and how you begin new compositions.
It was a little bit different from this piece. Like I was inspired by the fact that this was written for young flutists. I'm old. I'm 50 years old. In order to understand them, I don't know why, but I wanted to I was just like I'm just gonna listen to a bunch of K-pop and get inspiration, which is not my usual approach. And while I was really interested in like the rap part of like a lot of rap songs where they go like really like to the end, like almost out of breath type of things. And they're like the phrasing is unexpected. It's not regular. Da 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 da. It's not like that. Da 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 da. Like it's like goes on, and you don't really know when it's gonna stop with the lyrics and everything. And I was like, oh, okay. I'd like to go for that. This piece is really about the tempo is currently I set it up at 100. I just got an email from the performer who's going to premiere this piece, like professional performer who's going to premiere this piece, that it's not possible in 100. So I told her like whatever you can do, like just as fast as possible. But I'm kind of looking for that kind of out of breath moment, like to the end type of that kind of moment. So the process, this one, it was since it was very important that it has a lot of breath tone, so like it goes back and forth like that. And luckily, I had a student, a college student at UC Berkeley, and she was trying out a lot of passages for me. So yeah, the process was I write a little bit, I hear from her, and fix a little bit, and go back to her, and go back and forth. And also, when the piece was done, two flutists from the organization actually they tried out and sent me a recording, so that was very helpful too. So it was very hands-on approach, I would say.
Oh, that's so interesting. You said that the process for this specific piece was a little different from your other pieces, so I was wondering um, if you could go a little more in depth to your other works as well.
Oh, that's a very good question. Usually, when I'm composing, like I think about a structure a lot. So I would like set up a structure like either ABA or like in a picture or something like that, and then I will think of a certain kind of motive and see where that motive can go, what the contrasting material is that. Like it's more like constructional, I would say. But for this piece, I just started from the beginning and I just worked on the beginning a lot. And once it started, it kind of self-generated the idea, just like when rappers do rapping. Yeah, so it was not really like when I was writing the first section of the piece, I didn't really know where it's gonna go.
Mhm.
And I was even worried that is it gonna overall make sense? Or like, oh, how far can I go with this? And I even asked the organization if I can make this a 3 minute piece because I felt like there's no B material. I felt like I'm only gonna have an A material. So there's no like contrasting section of A B. But at the end, of course, they said no, the 3 minutes too short. But also, like as I was writing, I realized overall it's like monolithic in a way, but there is definitely a section that slightly goes to a different contour. So it's not really a B, but in a microscope way, you might call it a B. So after all, I think since I've been composing for a long time, like it naturally happened that there was some kind of like structure that's going on. But when I was writing at the beginning, I was really like, let's see how it unfolds. Like, let it take care of itself. Like, so I was kind of like almost like hands off, like let it generate things. Yeah.
That's so interesting. From my experience while I was playing the piece, because I was actually able to study the work, I noticed how the piece was very rhythmic, and I really liked how it had a very consistent tempo. I was wondering if there was any like preferences you had with the rests, like if you wanted it to be like set tempo time, or like if you wanted the rests to have a bit of time between, a little bit of space, so that like the new like kind of like phrase or like tiny part would like have a new start kind of.
Yeah, so I won't mind having a little bit of more rest after the rest to introduce a new material or new phrase. So I don't I think I will leave it up to the performer. But generally speaking, I don't want it to be like a romantic piece where you like take a big breath and like make it a da 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 like that kind of thing. Like I would like da 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 like I would like that. Yeah, more
Mhm.
like angular.
Oh, I see. So, like, would you say like the articulation and the direction you were going was more like kind of like there's a bit more like intensity in it?
Totally, yes.
Smooth.
Right.
Oh, okay, I see. That's very interesting. Um, are there any new directions or unexplored areas within music composition that you are particularly excited to delve into in your future projects?
Oh, thanks for asking. So I'm working a lot with collaboration with a visual artist at the moment. So yeah, currently I'm working with somebody called Jean Ahn. Like she's a visual artist who's especially working on the letters, like how the letters unfold, and especially she's working on like Korean letters also, or like letters from like scriptures from the Bible also, and she reinterprets it and use AI to let it unfold and stuff. So yeah, this is something. I worked with visual artists before, but it was more when I worked like it was more like a separate. They did their own. I had a couple of meetings, so the music is actually doing things that makes more sense. The future projects I'm doing with her.
Oh, that's very interesting. Um, okay, so in your opinion, what are the biggest challenges faced by contemporary composers and performers within the classical music industry today?
That's a big question. Change that as a very small question. I think, and a lot of people in academia like me, they don't even care about audience a lot either. Like we go to so many like new music concerts where there are like five people in the audience and like let's make a good recording, good portfolio. That's all we care. It doesn't matter. Those who don't understand it doesn't need to come. Like they have that kind of mindset. Some of them. I'm with very few like people in the academia who really care about the audience. I do like because I'm also a director of my ensemble that's called Ensemble Ari, and I work very hard to like promote and like bring audience together. And I'm not just talking about like how to strategically how to like marketing that kind of thing, but I'm also like very interested in building a repertoire or like once they're there, how to communicate with them to get a better have a connection with the audience. So I don't know if it's a classical music's biggest question, but for me, it is a question to me.
As a Korean and female composer, could you go in depth with your experience and the kind of cultural significance in that you've noticed?
Oh, thank you for asking. I think it's a great time. Like, I'm very thankful for the time that I'm living right now, where there's so many great opportunities as a female artist, as a Korean. So I think it's great. And there are so many good like Korean composers, like Korean American composers or Korean female composers at the moment. Like they're really, really good. So I'm really thankful to live in a moment and I know a lot of them, so we have good connections. So that's nice too. The significance is for me. I personally actually like was really into Korean music and I studied a lot of instruments. I went and did a lot of research for Korean vocal music, and also like so recently I published a book called Korean Folk Song Revisited series. That's for classical singers who don't know Korean, but they can follow the IPA. IPA is International Phonetic Alphabet, where they can just follow and they can sing the Korean lyrics. So all those things so those are the things that I'm able to do because I know about Korean music, but I'm also trained in Western music, so I'm able to write the piano part in a Korean way, but like in a very personal way also. So I think that works really well. There's so many opportunities that the Korean government is giving right now. Like for example, they have Kugak is like Korean music. Korean Music Center is inviting non-Korean citizens foreigners to come and study every summer. They give stipend, they give lessons, and they give all these things and so like very very famous, a lot of composers and musicians. So um, I don't know if I'm answering the question right. Yeah. Go so Korea being a Korean is great and also the everything is good and also being a like regarding being Korean female, I don't really think about I'm not really thinking about oh I am a female composer. I don't do that much and I think it's in a good way. Like there was time that like long time ago, like 20 years ago maybe when I was starting out, like I was.
Hmm. Oh, thank you so much for answering that. I was also wondering if you could give me some input on a few questions, like, for example, how could contemporary classical music be made more accessible to a wider audience from your point of view or perspective? And if there are specific strategies or initiatives you believe would be effective in generalizing its appeal as a director? Director?
Okay, that'll be a lifelong question, and I don't think I know the secret yet. I'm trying different things. One thing that I try to do is not watering it down because it'll be super easy if I program like all time people will come, but that's not the direction that I'm doing. And like me, it doesn't have to be new music. It doesn't have to be Jean Ahn. So I'm still trying different things. One of the things that and personalized and make the people appreciate that oh this is something that I can only get it here. I'm glad that I'm here. If they have that experience, they like to come back. And it doesn't matter if it was like atonal or it was like super new music that they are not used to. It didn't have to be watered down easy music. So I'm trying to create that kind of experience. One of the things that was interesting was we commissioned a composer last time at our concert. His name was Michael Lee. He lives in LA. He writes super difficult music. Like it's really hard to understand and listen even as a composer myself. But it was really well written and it was a violin solo piece, super difficult, super esoteric. But after the concert, all the audience gathered um, and around the music score because they were fascinated. And one of the things that I got from the audience was like, I don't, I didn't really understand the music or I didn't really love the music itself, but I liked the execution because the performer was really good and she was doing some incredible things that the audience was not quite grasping, but they understood that this was like a really high level of intensity. So it's something new to them. I'm throwing at them, but if we do it in a specific way, we can still communicate, or we can still like being something unique is also people are craving for that too. So that's what I'm trying. But again, I don't know the secret. It's gonna be my lifelong project. Yeah. Thanks for the.
Thank you so much for answering. Also, I was wondering, as a contemporary composer, are there specific instruments or groupings of instruments that you like to work with?
Oh, I really like string instruments and something like a plucking instrument. Like I love writing for kayagum. Kayagum is a Korean zither that you pluck it. I really like those instruments. It's easy for me to imagine the sound. I like writing for piano because piano is my instrument also. I don't write that well for winds, or I know you're a fluteist, but I don't write that well for winds or brass. Um, I mean, I took lessons, so I know how instruments work and everything, but it's just like it's that kind of thing. 'Cause I everyone play the same piece, so I have these kind of piano and oboe plays also sounds like this that type of. So I'm not very good at that. But that being said, like it's a challenge. Like, when I'm writing for these wind instrument or brass instrument, write like pretty piece that I've been hearing when I was in high school. Yeah. So that's why I have quite a lot of flute pieces, and none of them are really pretty.
But I find them very interesting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Um, so a lot of music students, they don't really know how to start and how to understand modern classical music. I find that like whenever my friends and I at our conservatory we play contemporary music, we have a hard time actually interpreting it or understanding it. So do you have any tips that you could give?
I was actually very happy when you contacted me. Like, you're a high school, like you're in high school, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like, oh wow, young performer contacting me, and I think one of the great thing about is, especially if you're playing a piece by a living composer, I would say living composers love to talk to performers. And I know some of them might not would say the best thing is like asking the composer, living composer, like take advantage of them, ask them questions, or like even ask them like if we can, you can send them like a brief recording of yourself, like certain section and get feedback. Yeah, so I think that'll be a great start.
Oh, that's great. Going back, you said that you like to compose a lot for stringed instruments, and you kind of haven't really composed as much for the wind and brass. While you were composing for flute, did you have any like thought process about the breathing perhaps? Like, did you have any specific like preferences in like where to breathe or like places you wouldn't want us to breathe in and stuff like that?
I took some flute lessons like eight, 7, 8 years ago when I was writing my first flute piece that's called Toys. It's a piece for flute and like a toy box, like a musical box, and it goes through a bunch of nursery rhymes. Yeah, that was my first. Like, I mean, I wrote orchestra piece before, but like first like flute, really center flute and piano piece. And that time, like I took the lesson to understand the breathing and like how to get all these like extra sounds from the flute. So yeah, I think I got a couple of feedback, a little bit of feedback about like this breathing. I need a little bit more breathing before the jet whistle. Like that's what I heard. But other than that, I'm pretty like I think I kind of know like when to write the breathing. So I think if you follow the rest and the phrasing marking, I hope that it all works. When I write a flute piece, it's like breathing comes to like the forefront, and that is the most interesting thing about flute to me.
Yes, I found that so interesting. Thank you so much for meeting with me today and for talking about your composition works. Would you be comfortable if this interview was republished in a future book or podcast format or like a YouTube link?
Oh, please go ahead. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh my God, thank you so much. And I'm so grateful for our meeting today. And thank you so much for giving me your time. I hope you have an amazing day and maybe meet at the convention.
Are you coming to the convention?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, please. Yeah, I gave you my number, so please. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm only gonna be there for Friday and Saturday, so yeah, hope to
Oh
get
my
connected
God,
with you.
that would be so nice.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye.